Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5 a.m. Club. I'm here in Greece at the moment, on the outskirts of Athens, at a place called Avlaki, and more specifically, I'm in a little bay here where there's a organised beach. You can see it down there behind me, called the Plaz, and there's another beach on the other side here, just over there, which is called Panorama, and they're both nestled in this wonderful little bay, which is surrounded by mountain and protects it from the breeze, from the buffeting waters, and it is a perfect, absolutely perfect place to spend your summer. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars chasing Santorini sunsets or the fakery of Mykonos. Athens has everything, and I mean everything that you're looking for. You just need to be discerning with where you search for it and just to do it. This place here where I am at now is 35 kilometres, just 35 kilometres from Athens. A half-hour drive with the car, or you can catch a bus here, which costs a couple of euro, and you can spend the day here. And what's absolutely special about Greece is that the climate is perfect for summer vacationing. The days are hot, the days are long. The sun rises at 6:15 and sets at 8:30, 9 o'clock. You're getting 15 and a half hours of daylight. So you're getting tremendous value for your money, because there's lots of daylight to enjoy the beach and all of the activities. The water temperatures are sublime. The water is buoyant because of the salt of this sea, this Aegean that you see here in the background, and there are hardly any currents, especially where I am here. There are no currents, there's no tide, and as I said, it's protected from the wind, even though there's a bit of a breeze blowing on the other side of those mountains, and it's going to get pretty windy today. Here, as you can see, the water is flat, and if I turn around behind me, you'll see all these people with little white hats swimming over there. They're all senior citizens. They're all people who are older than me, in their 80s, and yet here in Greece, people in their 80s go to the beach and enjoy the water and enjoy the summer and boast to each other how many times they've been in for a swim over the summer months. And something that occurred to me over the past couple of years is that in the southern hemisphere, especially in Australia, we get shortchanged when it comes to summer, because here in Greece the summer is 92 days, whereas in Australia it's 90 days, because we've got the leap year or the shortened month of February. So it's true, there are more summer months, more summer days in Greece than what there are in Australia. So the ideal is to spend time in Australia, enjoy an Australian summer, but also make some time for a Greek summer. But on a serious note, I say this time and time again, and I believe it, that Athens and its surrounding suburbs, I'm here in Attica, as I say, half an hour from Athens, from the centre, or the outskirts of Athens should I say, but it's not all that much further for everybody else. You can get here within half an hour Whereas in Sydney, where I live in Sydney, it takes half an hour at least to get anywhere. Whereas here in Athens, if you're living in Athens, you can jump on a bus or drive and be here, get here early and make the most of it. You can spend the whole day here. And there are tavernas, there are restaurants, there are people who serve, the patrons who take up the beach chairs with the umbrellas. So you got the comforts of a 5-star hotel resort. Like behind me there, if you look behind me there, that beach there called Plaz, it's got beach chairs, it's got cafes, it's got shower facilities and toilets, it's got sand, it's got a lifeguard. You can spend the whole day there, and I think at most it costs you €5 or €7, which is $10 or $12, and you've got the comforts of a resort. You can buy your beers, you can buy your club sandwiches, you can buy your food, and you can spend your whole day there lounging under an umbrella, enjoying the gifts of God. This sun is free. The water temperature is free. The history of this land is free for you to enjoy. And it comes as no coincidence that kings and queens from all over the world wanted to make Greece the jewel in their crown and would do whatever they could to try and conquer this land. But to our credit, to the credit of the Greeks of old, they preserved the freedoms that we enjoy today, both in ancient times and in modern times. Greece only now is coming out of a crippling recession, which was almost a depression, but many people will claim it was a depression that lasted more than 10 years. Hopefully all of that is behind us, and the Greeks of the new generation will be able to at least make the most of the sacrifices of their parents and all of those who had to endure this most painful economic crush that basically squeezed the life out of the economy. But this place here is my bolt hole. I come here whenever I come to Greece. It's been the family home, the family holiday home of my wife's side of the family, where they've spent many summers since their childhoods. And to be honest, I just love coming here. In the past, when I was a little bit fitter, what I would do is I would swim from that beach over there, Panorama, and I'd swim all the way out to that island over there, which is a 1k swim to the island and a 1k swim back. But at the moment, what I do is I swim from one side of the bay to the other side, which is about 400 meters each leg, and it's like swimming, believe it or not, and I don't exaggerate here, it's like swimming in an aquarium. The water is clear, the bottom is sandy, and as I say, the salinity in the water enables you to float and to be comfortable in the water so you don't get tired, and you can spend the whole day basically swimming backwards and forwards and exercising your body, your mind and your soul. What I wanted to do today is just to go through and just do one more session and add to my sub-series of all that I've learnt from Anthony Robbins over the years, having been to a number of his seminars, read his books, and I guess practice a lot of his material over the past 30 years. And a key message that comes from Anthony Robbins is the importance of reward. And he makes a very, very valid point, something which is quite profound, and I just want to share that with you today. And he says that it's important to reward behaviors rather than success, because when you reward success, it doesn't lead to growth and development. But the focus as parents, as mentors, as leaders, as people expressing their own personal leadership, we need to reward particular behaviors that are going to lead us to the outcomes that we desire. Because when you believe in a process, when you invest in a process, it's then that you're going to have the breakthroughs that require patience, of course, and perseverance and stickability, and to be able to work through the ups and downs. Because if you're just rewarding successes, then you need to wait a long time. And most people, unfortunately, don't have the ability to stick to things unless they're getting outcomes. Whereas if you're rewarding behaviors, then those outcomes will be the natural output of the process. I remember years ago listening to a tape that Anthony Robbins put together where he interviewed a person who was a dolphin trainer. And he talked about the tricks of the trade, how dolphin trainers get their animals to perform and to learn tricks. And he said that you need to reward and to positively reinforce their behaviors. So humans, just like animals, we're all habitual. We're all habitual in our nature, and we do good things and bad things, productive things and unproductive things all the time. And what we need to do is we need to be detectives of those productive things that we do, and to invest and to reward those productive things that we do. And just like the animals, just like the dolphins and the dogs, we too need to understand the science of learning, the science of reward, and to reward our behaviors, especially when we're doing the behaviors and we're modeling those behaviors on people who are getting the outcomes that we're looking for. And I'm not suggesting here that if you do a particular behavior that you're guaranteed of getting an outcome, because we all have our own fates. Just because I do it doesn't mean that I'm going to get the outcome that my father got, or my brother got, or my cousin, or my workmate got. But from a scientific perspective, if you do the right thing, then sooner or later you're going to get a breakthrough. Sooner or later you're going to learn the patterns. Sooner or later you're going to adjust and become more patient and wait for the opportunity to pounce and make the most of the opportunities as and when they arise. Because you need to be ready for those opportunities before they present themselves. You need to do the training. You need to do the drills. You need to understand the patterns so that you can predict what may be coming your way, so that by taking action you can potentially achieve or see the first, second and third level consequences in advance so that you're making the right decisions or productive decisions. Decisions that are going to help you get closer to where you want to be. So what else can I say today? The other thing that Anthony Robbins talks about is not only do you have to reward your behaviours, you also need to provide yourself with jackpots. Because if you just simply reward outcomes, then sooner or later even dolphins, even dogs, even dolphins get bored with the same old reward given the same old way every single time. And this is where the science of learning is important, where Anthony Robbins says, or the dolphin trainer said to Anthony Robbins, that every now and then you need to offer random, and it's important for it to be random jackpots just to keep the interest up. So what the dolphin trainer would do is every now and then, instead of throwing in one squid or one sardine or one morsel to the dolphins, he'd throw 5 or 6 in, even if the dolphin didn't deserve it. This is really, really key and important to understand, that when you're rewarding people, when you're rewarding yourself, you don't have to deserve it. You just have to be kind so that it keeps the interest up. It keeps us focused. It keeps us wanting to continue to strive, to try and get to where we want to get to. And as I say, it's not always going to be guaranteed. You're not always going to get the outcome that you're looking for. But the important thing is to be in the game and to continue to strive to get to where you want to get to by following a scientific process, something that works for you. Because what works for me may not work for you. What works for your dad, your mum, your cousin, your brother, your uncle, your teacher, your karate instructor may not necessarily work for you. But we all need to be working and trying to figure out what works for us, and most importantly to be kind along the way and to reward our behaviours. And by the same token, you may need to reward your successes, but not to overly emphasize the success, but to reward the behaviour, the journey of getting where you want to get. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club, where I come to you from the most beautiful outskirts of Athens, Porto-Rafti should I say, and I've enjoyed this morning swim. I'll make my way back home to our holiday house now and go and catch up with my wife Paula and take her round the other side, because she has her preference given that she grew up here. Take her to her preference and go for a swim there, where we'll have a coffee and just have a bit of a chat and capture the rest of the morning before the sun gets too hot. Yassas, take care and bye for now.